Yes, this is about the mezuzah. I say that the mezuzah was always intended to be slanted. One has to remember that Rashi always says that the mezuzah is supposed to be completely vertical. And Rabbeinu Tam says it's supposed to be horizontal. So what did Halakha do? It made it a compromise and made it a diagonal. But what does this do? If you see this, so now the Rashi is a vertical. That's the vertical mezuzah of a Rashi. Then the Rabbeinu Tam is the horizontal mezuzah. And so what they say is, they did a compromise between the vertical and horizontal. But what does this vertical compromise do, so to speak? It's a diagonal that connects the two of the vertical and horizontal. And it makes a triangle. So basically, when you see a mezuzah with on a slant, you're seeing a triangle. You see? It's the diagonal of a triangle, the hypotenuse. And if you really want to know, this relates back to Pythagorean. The Pythagorean theorem of a squared plus b squared equals c squared. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. And if you remember that the Pythagorean theorem had to do with the 3, 4, 5 triangle, which would be, if it was a 3 and a 4 and then a 5, that would be 3 squared plus 4 squared equals 5 squared. And this is the magic of a triangle, because according to Buckminster Fuller in that book, he used to say that the triangle is the first closed container. And that's what makes it so solid. So we don't have an angle, we have a triangle. And if you really want to know, this is the great secret of all the, it's the great secret of everything, of the law of three. It's a three-sided closed figure. You know, even in really deep consciousness of the, splitting things off into two. What's that word that I looked up? We're going to see that in a second here. Oh, I don't have it. I have to. It's but the law of two, the two is a split off. The two is a manifestation of the one. But to put them together, 1 plus 2 equals 3. You see? So the first closed container is a 3. So even in third eye, the third eye is here. You have a triangle, and then between the two eyes, and then there it's a triangle. And so this relates back to the Pythagorean theorem, which was a real esoteric thing. And this is where, if you really want to know that the whole Kabbalah is of a esoteric nature, and as I say, that all esoterics are basically the same. Yes, there's a difference, a slight difference in the soul, but basically it's the same. And so this mezuzah, as the law of three, is basically the Pythagorean theorem. It's an explanation, and again, one has to know how to read, to deconstruct and decipher the texts. So when Rashi's is a vertical and Rabbeinu Tam is a horizontal, and they say, oh, we make a compromise. Compromise is a connection between the horizontal and the vertical. And so you're actually seeing a mezuzah as a closed container, as a triangle. That's why it's slanted. It's a triangle.